Good morning, everyone. My topic for today is all about mackerel, Scombers scombros. Mackerel is a common name applied to a number of different species of pelagic fish, mostly from the family Scombridae. They are found in both temperate and tropical seas, mostly living along the coast of offshore in the environment. Mackerel species typically have vertical stripes on their back and deeply forked tails. Generally, mackerel are much smaller and slimmer than tuna, though in other respects, they share many common characteristics. Like other scombroids, their bodies are cylindrical with numerous finlets on the dorsal and ventral sides, behind the dorsal and anal fins, but unlike the deep-bodied tuna, they are slim. There are types of mackerels. The chub mackerel, starling, Scomber japonicus. This is a fish from the Pacific and Atlantic and its commercial importance is remarkable. The chub mackerel has a well-developed swim bladder attached in the genus Scomber, and a characteristic color difference is seen between the chub and the Atlantic chub. The chub has a larger eye than the Atlantic. Next is the blue mackerel, Scomber australasiacus. It is found on the coast of Australia and New Zealand, in northern China and Japan, eastern Mexico, the Indian Ocean, and the Red Sea. Blue mackerel is a fish of the family Scombridae found in the tropical and subtropical waters of the Pacific Ocean from Japan south to Australia and New Zealand. It is typically reaches to 30 centimeter or 12 inches in length and 1.4 kilogram or 3.1 pounds in weight. Ang blue mackerel ug ang chub mackerel, the same ra na silang genus the Scomber. Next is the short mackerel, the Rastriliger brachysoma. It lives in tropical waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. The short mackerel can attain a maximum length of 34.5 cm, but lengths of around 20 cm are more common. Next is the island mackerel, the Rastriliger fauni. It inhabits the western region of the Pacific Ocean. The island mackerel has maximum reported length is 20 centimeter and the maximum weight is 0.75 kilogram. Most mackerel species have restricted distribution ranges. Atlantic Spanish mackerel, the Scomberomoros maculatus, occupy the waters off the east coast of North America from the Cape Cod area south to the Yucatan Peninsula. The Atlantic mackerel, Scomber scombros, is a coastal species found only in the North Atlantic. Another common coastal species, the chub mackerel, which is the Scomber japonicus, is absent from the Atlantic Ocean but is widespread across both hemispheres in the Pacific, where its migration patterns are somewhat those of Atlantic mackerel. The Chilean jack mackerel, the Trachuros morphaea. The most intensively harvested mackerel-like species is found in the South Pacific from West Australia to the coast of Chile and Peru. Some mackerel species migrate vertically. Adult snake mackerel conduct a diel vertical migration, staying in deeper water during the day and rising to the surface at night to feed. Mackerel are prophyllic, broadcast spawners, and must breed near the surface of the water because the eggs of the females float Individual females lay between 300,000 and 1,500,000 eggs. Their eggs and larvae are pelagic, that is, they float free in the open sea. The larvae and juvenile mackerel feed on zooplankton. As adults, they have sharp teeth and hunt small crustaceans such as copepods, forage fish, shrimp, and squid. In turn, they are hunted by larger pelagic animals such as tuna, billfish, sea lions, sharks, and pelicans. Off Madagascar, spinners, shark, follow migrating school of mackerel. Brides whales feed on the mackerel when they can find them. They use several feeding methods, including skimming the surface, lunging, and bubble nets. An average size of fish produces between 250,000 and 500,000 eggs. Eggs hatch quickly, usually within a week of being laid, and juvenile mackerel grow rapidly and can reach 8 inches or 22 centimeters after just 1 year. They spend the next 2 to 3 years offshore while they reach maturity. The mackerel has a huge commercial importance for many Atlantic fisheries, which catch it with purpose seines, trolls, gill nets, and trammel nets. Its optimal fishing seasons occurs between February and May, while its global annual catch is usually above 1.5 million tons. The United Kingdom and Norway provide the largest amount of Atlantic mackerel, with annual catches reaching more than 166,000 tons and 160,000 tons respectively. The North Sea has been overfished to the point where the ecological balance has become disrupted and many jobs in the fishing industry has been lost. The Southeast U.S. region spans the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean Sea, and the U.S. Southeast Atlantic. Overfishing of king and Spanish mackerel occurred in the 1980s. Regulations were introduced to restrict the size, fishing locations, and back limits for recreational fishers and commercial fishers. Gill nets were banned in water off Florida. By 2001, the mackerel stocks had bounded back. And that's all my report. Thank you for listening.